What did you get then? I passed! Yes! Woo, 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 woo. Me too!
Surprise, surprise. How many marks did you get on that test, Destiny?
76 out of 100!
Oh, okay. And Hannah, how many did you get?
I got 76 too.
Really? I'd never have guessed.
Really?
No, of course not. If you copy someone's answers, Hannah, then it's not surprising that you get the same score.
Really, Hannah? Is that true? I might have glanced at like a couple of your answers.
A couple? Try all of them.
Hannah, if it is true, then I don't think we're going to hear the end of this. Our teacher's going to spot it and then you are going to get in trouble.
You know what? Let's leave that discussion for later.
I don't know if you have ever been on the end of an injustice. When someone has done something just plain unfair. Sorry, Destiny. It's alright, Hannah. But you know what? There are many terrible injustices that are going on in our world that are far worse than just copying someone's work.
Just pause for a moment and see if you can list some of the injustices that we see on the news and on our screens.
I don't know where your conversations ended, but sadly we're guessing you might have quite a long list. Tragically, our world isn't perfect and there are injustices that we need to stop.
We see issues around poverty, discrimination, ageism, sexism, and a whole host of other topics.
The issue of racism came to the fore once again in 2020 following the murder of George Floyd. People all over the world were appalled at the scenes. In a joint statement, Archbishop Justin Welby and Archbishop John Sentamu said this.
Systemic racism continues to cause incalculable harm across the world. Our hearts weep for the suffering caused for those who have lost their lives, those who have experienced persecution, and those who live in fear. Despite people seeking to change this over the past decades, there is so much more that needs to be done to educate and to ensure an end to injustice together. A friend of mine, Daniel Eduardo, is from the band Bright Line, which is part of the Message Trust family. Here he is talking about his experience of life growing up as a boy of mixed race.
Have you ever experienced people picking on you because you're different? Maybe because you're too tall, maybe because you're too small, or maybe because you're a different gender to them, or maybe because you have a different skin color. Man, I know that used to happen to me. I'm mixed race, my dad's black, my mom's white. And unfortunately, where I came from, there was loads of racism. I remember in my school, in my community, people would pick on me because of the color of my skin. Some people would say, you know what, you can't really hang out with us, man, because you're different to us. Yeah, you're kind of white. And then on the flip side, I have people saying, yo, you can't really hang out with us, man, because you're kind of different, man. You smell, you're black. So I remember being caught in the middle and thinking, why am I so different? Why can't I just be like everybody else? And why can't I be accepted? I remember people picking on my family because they were different colors.
Whoa, we're just going to pause there for a moment. That's awful. We've got to ensure that no one experiences what Daniel did.
We need to sort this out.
Our behaviour does matter. As a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. said earlier, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. No one on this earth should ever have to go through what Daniel had to face, and we need to ensure that it doesn't happen.
Daniel found some comfort in his Christian faith and his belief that knowing he and everyone is unique and loved by God.
I remember going home, crying, not liking the reflection that I saw in the mirror. I wanted to be accepted. But reading the Bible, as my parents chatted with me, I realized this. I realized that I was created with purpose. I realized that God loves me the way that I am, that God made me this way. And once I realized that, the whole way of seeing myself completely shifted. I love the color of my skin. I wouldn't change that because I know that God made me this way. So remember the words that Jesus said. Love your neighbor as yourself. What does that look like? What would it look like for you to love other people the same way that you love yourself? Doesn't matter where they come from, their religious belief, their sexual orientation, their ethnicity, to love other people the same way that you love yourself. But in order for you to be able to love other people the same way that you love yourself, you need to learn how to love yourself. See yourself the same way as God sees you. And God says that you are unique, with special value, with purpose. There is a reason as to why you're on this planet. God loves you.
Racial injustice is wrong. The Archbishop's statement that we mentioned earlier also said this.
Let us be clear. Racism is an affront to God. It is born out of ignorance and must be eradicated. We all bear responsibility and we must play our part to eliminate this scourge on humanity.
The way we live matters. Our words and our actions matter.
And the things we don't do and don't say matter too.
What would happen if we stood up to injustice?
What would the world look like if we all took responsibility?
What would happen if we all knew that our behaviour really does matter?
Colour don't change a man, don't change a man, don't change a man. Colour don't change a man, don't change a man, don't change a man. Yeah, some of us are living with racist faces, so I'm chatting with my Asian mate to say this. Your skin, your colour, it don't matter cause we're brothers. And my God up in heaven, yeah, he always loves us, yo. I ain't trying to be something that I'm not. I just know this subject's heavy, so I drop it like it's hot. What? I'm not saying my opinion is right. I just know that he loves you whether black or white, Asian, Caucasian. We're one nation, we're made in his image. We're created to praise him, face it. It's all about coloured faces that we don't understand, we end up racist. So from UK to the world, we be making it hot. Then from border to border, wanna see racism drop. What? Don't be thinking that you're better than your brother. We still bleed when we cut, it doesn't matter the colour. So why?